Hi, I'm Kamali, taking you through the stories people are talking about and sharing around the world on NewsFeed today. Women arrested and the leader of the movement getting death threats. The law to allow women to drive in Saudi Arabia comes into effect tomorrow. People love the Obamas so much they can now have them on demand. The former first couple have signed a deal with Netflix. She's being described as the Imelda Marcos of Malaysia. We'll tell you more about the wife of the former Prime Minister Najib Razak and why her wardrobe has got her and her husband in trouble. And where's AJ? Why friends of this Uighur pop star are very worried about his safety. Right, so at the top of our newsfeed, and Saudi women will be allowed to drive from tomorrow. It's a huge moment for the country and part of their modernisation drive. But many of those who were part of the movement to change the law have been jailed, and there was a trending hashtag led by Saudi men called "You Won't Drive." We told you about that a few days ago. Now, all of this has, of course, had people worrying about how the change in the law is going to be received. Have a look at this. All right, let's take a look at what else has been trending on social media today. Now, it's a year to the day since 22 people were killed and more than 60 injured at an Ariana Grande concert at the Manchester Arena, United Kingdom. Now, people are tweeting messages with pictures of bees, which became a symbol of solidarity for the city after the attack. Ariana Grande has tweeted, "Thinking of you all today. I love you and I'm sending you all the light and warmth I have to offer you on this challenging day." Now, being president and the entertainment business go very well together in the United States. President Obama has just signed a deal with Netflix to produce content through a new production company he's setting up with his wife, Michelle. The new company will be called Higher Ground Productions and will make scripted and unscripted series, documentaries and features that are relevant to his and her 8 years in office. Now, they're the best dressed couple on earth and they're about to launch their own store in Tokyo. Seoyu and Tomi Seki have more than 700,000 Instagram followers and post images like this, Bonpon511. If you're not following them, get on it. Now, they've been married for 38 years and say they like to dress for their surroundings and for each other. Now, he's only been out of office a week, but in that time, Najib Razak has had a spectacular fall from grace. The former Prime Minister of Malaysia was voted out in a shock result on the 9th of May. Since then, his home has been raided by the police. Today, he's been questioned by anti-corruption officials, and people are asking about all the expensive luxury items his wife has accumulated. Lee Min has more. Now, there's a TV show made in Egypt that's causing beef with Sudan. It's based on some fictional fighting force in the desert the two nations share, but has angered the actual foreign ministry of Sudan. Take a look.
Assalamu alaikum.
ثم خاننا مرتين، مرة حين تركنا في أفغانستان، ومرة حين حاول قتل شيخنا بيديه. فإن لأبو عمر أعوانه من الخونة.
Now, AJ Ayup is a Uighur pop star, and there's been loads of chatter about him today online. He hasn't been seen from or heard from in a few months. He's known as the Uighur Justin Bieber and says that he uses his music to bridge the gap between communities, his and the Chinese. Now, the mostly Muslim Uyghurs are not well treated in communist China, and there are fears that he's been sent to a re-education camp after he was reportedly arrested back in February. Now, being sent to these camps is something that seems to happen more often than you think, so while the search continues for AJ, here's the story of another man who says he was sent to such a place.
共产党，我应该相信习主席，习主席身体祝愿习主席身体健康，天天必须要让你要看护感呀，或者是天天让你演出这些东西。强迫性的让你说出，哎呀，你看共产党好，我认错了，我。星期五不做念码子去，参加葬礼我不去，伊斯兰仪式性的仪律场合我不去。提示呢，把我这样子挂着，只能就这样子塞到地上，就这样子挂着，4天4夜没有让我睡觉。我睡觉要把我的手挂着那个门上，天门上，就这样子。
All right, let's take you around the world for some other stories you need to know this Tuesday. Now, a Catholic Archbishop in Australia has become the highest-ranked member of the church in the world to be convicted of covering up child sex abuse. Philip Wilson is now facing 2 years in prison for hiding abuses committed against young boys by priests in the 1970s. North Korea will shut down its nuclear testing site at Punggye, but many saying it's merely symbolic ahead of planned talks between Donald Trump and Kim Jong-un next month. Now, journalists have been invited to watch the dismantling of the site, but Pyongyang has done this sort of thing before. It blew up a cooling tower back in 2008 and got sanctions relief as a result. Actually, they don't really need the testing site anymore, but most people do agree they have the hydrogen bomb. Their current problem is an effective missile to put it on. Now, Sweden is concerned about the threat of war, so much so that the country's government has given its 4.8 million citizens a pamphlet titled "If Crisis or War Comes." The last time they did this was in 1941 when they were neutral in the Second World War. They then updated the advice in the 60s during the Cold War. Sweden hasn't fought an actual war for 200 years. Now, the lava flowing from Mount Kilauea in Hawaii continues to destroy everything in its path, and now a geothermal power plant, irony, has had to have extra safety measures put in to stop toxic gas escaping when the lava eventually eats the place. This is video of people barbecuing in Oakland, California. They're on the same spot where other people were barbecuing a few weeks ago and the police were called. Pictures and video of the event have been shared and the hashtag barbecuing while black has been used. Now, this is either a dream, train or nightmare depending on how much you're into Hello Kitty. These are the visuals from the promo material for the launch of the Hello Kitty train in Japan. Where else? It's a bullet train, of course, and will start running on the 30th of June between Shin Osaka Station in Osaka Prefecture and Hakata in Fukuoka Prefecture. What a way to begin your commute to work. Now, millions of dollars have been raised to help the many thousands who are homeless in Scotland by a company called Social Bite. And they've used some of the money to build a temporary village to help people go from the street into permanent housing. Take a look.
Not only are you getting a place to live and getting support and stuff, you're also getting a chance to go out and work in one of the cafes or the restaurant.
And we will leave you today with some pictures of some little baby meerkats who've taken their first step outside Chester Zoo in the UK. Enjoy. So that's your lot from the NewsFeed team. Reach out to us with your questions, comments, complaints and suggestions. I'm at Kamali Melbourne. You'll find us 24/7 on Twitter, YouTube and Facebook. Follow, subscribe and add. See you again tomorrow.